Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. There's always more people the second time. Great. So, how many people heard me speak before? Can't use any of those jokes, huh? All right. You'll probably forget about it. Okay, so my name is Greg Allen, and I do have some bad news, though, that my partner can't come here tonight, George Berg. I know. So George is he's an attorney, and he'll be speaking again because we do a lot of community talks. He's a criminal attorney. He's also in the city council for PVE, and they got some thing tonight that he's got to go to, so he's really apologizes why he can't make it. And he says it's all his fault. Okay? It's not my fault. But I'll probably tell you enough scary stuff already anyway, because he usually terrorizes everybody with all the illegal things that you find out what's going on with kids. You'd be shocked in Palos Verdes that there's illegal activity going on with teenagers. How many people are surprised to hear that? One person. So he talks about the dark side undercurrent of what's happening in the culture that you may not see on the surface. So I'm a therapist in the community here, and I went to junior high and high school here, and I have 4 kids. My claim to fame, and married 33 years. That's my other claim to fame. And so I'm a doctor, right? Doctor in psychology, not a medical doctor. So you would think this guy's a doctor, he's got it together, which I do pretty much now because I'm so old. It took a while. And graduate school, and then in graduate school I got all A's, which for some of you it's no big deal, because a lot of your kids get all A's, right? There's a lot of kids here that get all A's, which still astounds me, because when I was in high school I did not get all A's. Okay. So I was a real struggling teenager, got in a lot of trouble. I don't know if you want to hear this or not, I'll tell you. And junior high and high school, I was like one of these I was a lost kid. And because I went through a lot of hard times through those years, and by many, many miracles, I worked through that stuff. It really is, because I should be not alive or in jail for all the stuff we did and went through. So because I went through that, I understand, kids that might be having problems, getting in trouble, struggling in their families. And that whole perspective led me to help found Freedom for You, which is a youth nonprofit organization for like 12 years in the South Bay. And so if you look at the back of your card, y'all got a card, let's look at this real quick. This is kind of what we do. We do all these things in the green zone there. Fun, challenging, adventurous for kids. So we do a lot of creative arts, music, film. Kids play music, perform for their friends, safe supervised activities. We do it all across the South Bay. We have heavy metal night, believe it or not. We have jazz nights. We have coffee house, kids perform, and things like that. And then we also do life skills workshops, and then we're doing counseling in 9 public schools in the South Bay. So we're in Maricosta, Redondo, all these schools up here, junior high and high school, just trying to help the kids that are going through difficulties. And the schools identified the need. So if enough kids at school had someone die in their family, they have a grief group. If enough kids have some other anxiety thing they're going through, then there's an anxiety skill building group, or just support groups for whatever's going on. So that's the Freedom for You part. Okay? And there's a brochure over there too, if you're interested. And so I was just thinking of, you all coming here. And so how many of you have a high schooler? And how many have junior high? And how many of you have an elementary student? Just a few. I was emailing with a few principals of the elementary schools to talk about doing some 4th and 5th grade talks for parents, because I think that would be good. Because by the time you get in high school and your kid's like a junior, you're kind of counting down the days till they leave. At least some parents are. But the younger parents, the junior high parents, they're very scared about those teen years and those high school years and what's happening and all the pressure and the stress. And so I think some of you are maybe looking for hope. Some of you are worried about where your kids are going and what their future is going to be like, right? And I think what's important is what you'll get tonight is you'll get some information, and you'll get some skills, and you'll get some strategies of how to guide your kids through these teen years. Because if you think about it, at least if I think about it, you're not raising a kid, you're raising an adult. Okay? So it's really good with your parenting to think of the finished product, which isn't totally finished, but like a 24-year-old. Okay? So you're raising a 24-year-old. So one day your kid is 24, hopefully, and they're not living with you. Maybe you want them to. I think maybe they're finished with college. Maybe they're into their second job. They already got a job after college. The average job after college lasts about a year and a half. The kids will go for their second job. All right, so they're in their second job. They're living on their own. They're working. They got money, and you know what? They can deal with that out there, the world out there. They can negotiate life, and you know what that's like because we're adults, right? It's not real nice out there, is it? Sometimes. So they can deal with stress, they can deal with challenges, they can deal with weird bosses, they can deal with difficult co-workers, they can deal with traffic, they can deal with managing money, they can deal with all the choices, and as a 24-year-old, a young adult that they have. All right, so that's what you're aiming for. So when you think about it, anybody here go to hear Dr. Ginsburg at Peninsula High a few years ago? Okay. So this guy came to talk, he's a top pediatrician. There's 800 parents in the gym, a little bit more than that. Okay, so he was saying that the top businesses across the country now, they're not necessarily going to like the Harvards and the top Ivy League schools to look for people. Because a lot of those kids who've succeeded their whole life and everything's gone well, and they've gotten A's, and they've been really great and wonderful, they're not that great in the workplace. In fact, some kids, when they get let go from their first job and they're 22, 23, the parents call up the boss. The boss hangs up on the mom. And when they go for their second job interview, that person, that employer, is not concerned about how many APs they took in high school. That employer does not care about their SAT score. That employer wants to know, can this person work together with this person in the workplace? Can they be collaborative? Can they be in a team? Can this person handle corrective action? Like in most jobs, you get a review of how you're doing, process improvement. You get evaluated. They found out a lot of the kids coming from these that have succeeded their whole life, they couldn't handle getting told what they're not doing good or what they need to work on. Okay, so our kids, they need to be able to persevere. They need to be able, when they face obstacles, they face difficulties, they have to be able to not freak out. And so while your kids are home in your nest, okay, because I know you live in a, hi, come on, well, I'll just watch you as you walk around. Did not. So as your kids are in your nest, I know your home is a nest. It's a very loving environment, or you wouldn't be here tonight, right? And it's safe because your kids can go out and they can deal with life, whatever happens, and they can come back home and you guys are there and you love them and how's it going and are you okay and what happened, it's safe. And the real world is not like that, is it? It's not like that. The real world does not really care about how you feel, right? Or if your feelings got hurt, or if someone insulted you, or if you're having a hard time, or if you're overwhelmed, okay? So if you could see, as you're trying to raise a 24-year-old in your home, that if your son or daughter has any difficulty, any problem, any quote failure, like getting a B, okay, or a C, or a problem, that's a learning opportunity for you. Okay, while they're in your home, and it's hopefully a learning opportunity for them. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean like, I hope you're going to learn from this. It's not that kind of parenting, right? But it's like it's a chance for them to reflect, understand, try to figure out what happened, what they did, what they didn't do, what they could have done differently. Maybe they're disappointed by a friend that let them down. And what could they do differently next time? As the class, the coach, the kid, the teacher, the teammate, whatever that thing was that they're upset about or that's difficult. Am I yelling at you? All right, so you want to have your home be a place of learning environment while it's safe and loving, that you have to not freak out when something bad happens or they mess up or they make a mistake or they do something stupid. Okay, you want them to learn you'll learn from it so that later when they're on their own, they'll realize, oh yeah, I mean, that's what happens when this happens, or maybe I could deal with something differently this way or that way. So your home's a chance to learn about real life. Those employers are looking for something called perseverance. When you're faced with an obstacle, you're faced with something difficult, what do? Do you crumble? Do you have an anxiety attack? I'm not joking about people with anxiety attacks, because I know they're real. Or do you go, you know what, I can do it, we're going to keep working at this. They're looking for perseverance, like you would too. Some of you are bosses probably. You're looking for people that are going to work hard and persevere and be committed, okay? So the other side of that is we, especially in this community, we can't do everything for our kids. If you do everything for your kid's not learning to do anything for themselves. The example is, once your kid can tie their shoe, when they're 3 or 4 or 5, stop tying their shoe, right? No, I'll tie it for you, it's okay. They're 8 years old, no, I'll keep tying your shoe. I like tying your shoe, okay? There's many things we do for our kids because we love them so much that they can do for themselves. So we need to be blunt, stop doing that. Okay, so just kind of look at their life, look at managing their life, thinking you're raising a 24-year-old that can live on their own. What can my kid do for myself? Now some parents are like, oh, I want to do all this stuff for them so they don't have to worry so they can study. Okay, we're overly focused, I think, on achievement. And sometimes we're so focused on achievement, getting in that great college, getting those grades, that we forget about character. Okay, we forget about what kind of person am I raising here. Okay, I had a mom tell me that her 6th grader said, we need to go shopping because I need to get some new clothes. And then the mom said, well, what do you mean you need to get new clothes? She goes, well, look, your closet's full of clothes. She goes, oh, no, I need some new clothes. She goes, well, no, I don't think you need new clothes. She goes, look, Mom, she goes, serious. She goes, Mom, you owe me. You owe me, and we need to go shopping. And she's like, what do you mean I owe you? She goes, you decided to give birth to me, okay? So because of that, you owe me. The kid's like, I'm saying it was like confronting the mom. Serious, kind of angry. The mom's like, what am I raising here? Right? So there's a lot of kids, none of ours, we're kind of entitled, okay? Expecting, a little bit pampered. It happens when we have a higher socioeconomic environment. Kids do have more. But I've worked with kids for a lot of years, and the kids in wealthier areas get in actually more trouble. It's different trouble. It's more clever trouble. They have more access to money, they have transportation, they're a little brighter how they fool their parents, where they are, what they're doing, who they're with, So it's important to stay connected to your kids.